when you get to release your life story or a documentary or DVD, people see the real truth of who you are, or how you were, or how you came out. If maybe that day you're successful.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Like you say, for your children. Yes.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I travel with them all the time. But anyways, going back to my childhood.
Yes.
The childhood was very ordinary to, when I say ordinary, I mean to any other black person that grew up in the townships, where a lot of us grew up with single mothers. A lot of us grew up from impoverished backgrounds. I was the only child at home, and when I was growing up, a lot of my friends thought I was spoiled because I was just the only child. But I wasn't, because no, I wasn't. It was difficult to spoil me when I think it's difficult to spoil your only child when you're poor. But my mother was very strict.
Is it?
Yeah, my mother was very strict. My mother was religious. My mother taught me self-respect, as I was saying earlier. My mother didn't want any nonsense, because my mother knew that she had a boy, and a lot of her friends used to give her advices and say, when you've got a boy, when you've got a son for a child, you have to be strict. It's important, because if you do not have a father figure, it's not easy to instill that hardness in a boy, because you can easily lose your child to the streets, or you can easily become a criminal, or you can easily be influenced negatively by friends, by his peers, you know. So she was very strict. When you're a Gemini, I don't know about you, but maybe you can relate to what I say when I say you get to have split personalities, where your other side is actually very talkative. You can talk, you can get along with other kids, you can, you know, be loud and very spontaneous. But then you've got your other side where you're very quiet and reserved and a bit shy. But all of that is within you. Yeah. So, but more of my side that was prominent when I was young was my loud side, because I was always surrounded with friends. And as a child growing up in the township, you always have to be strong around your peers, because in the township you get to fight, you get to play contact sports, you get to prove that you're also strong. You have to be able to speak for yourself, because you get accused of a lot of things. You also get to be naughty. You also have to be, your character has to be firm, because you can easily get peer pressured into doing negative things. So your character has to come out. So that was more of my character that was out there as a child. To a point where, like, when I used to watch movies, I'd be the one, you know, telling my friends about the movie that I watched, or this and that, you know.
Is it?
When I knew anything, I'm the one that has to tell the story to my friends. When a fight ensured, I have to protect my friends, or if I lose, I have to get somebody to come and protect me. You know, but yeah, that was more of a child. I was that kind of a child. I was also naughty. I got into trouble a lot of times. It was in Pretoria.
So how did this shape you, this political violence that you were exposed to as a child?
Yeah. What it did though, it was a revolution where my country was changing in front of my eyes. But I was a child at the time, and as much as I tried to understand, I did not understand exactly why all of that was happening. You know, I was aware that, you know, we were living under oppression, which was apartheid at the time, where, you know, the oppressed at the time was mainly the black person being oppressed by the oppressor, which was the white. You know, I understood a little bit that the oppressor was white, the oppressed was us, black people. We're living in the townships, there's political violence. We must free Mandela, because I can see the older guys at the time are fighting for Mandela to be freed from jail. I can hear of the apartheid government, and I can see there's fights in the township, there's big cops, we're not allowed to be in the streets after 9 in the evening. So all of that kind of made me want to be more interested in knowing what's going on in my country. It kind of made me want to live a better life. You know, it made me want to participate in politics, but at the time I was also more of a talkative person who was more of an entertainer to his friends, and I also wanted to participate in entertainment. From an early age, I wanted to be a performer, I wanted to be on radio, because I was that from when I was young. I didn't inform my friends of what's going on. I was the loud mouth, I was the big mouth. I'd make jokes, I'd act, you know. So I was more of a performer than really a revolutionist or a conscious kind of a person. But I wanted to know what was going on. So I was sent to boarding school boarding school was more quiet, it was strict. It shaped me to being a man as well, because boarding school was very strict. Coming back from boarding school, I think from a very early age, I was ready for the world, you know.
And how old are you now?
I'm 28.
Are you 28 now?
So, I mean, I've been out of school for over 10 years. I went to varsity from doing my matric. I went to varsity. I did first year. I dropped out.
Hello. Hello.
First year, I dropped out. Mainly because I think I was not ready. I was too young. I did not understand the studying patterns of a tertiary institution, tertiary level at the time. Let me not say I didn't drop out the first year. I failed my first year.
Yeah.
So I went to repeat.
Where was that?
I was in TNT, Soshanguve, Pretoria.
Soshanguve?
It's now called...
Toronto University of Technology.
That's what it's called now, yeah. I did that for a year, failed. I moved from there to come to Vets Tech.
Okay.
Yeah, first Vets Tech, I did first year again.
Yeah.
I still did not do that well. And then at home, they didn't have money to help me further my studies. So then I had to go look for a job.
Okay.
Yeah. Dropped out of school.
And then you started at the community radio station?
Yeah, that was before that. I went to sell in the streets. I didn't get a proper job. I got a job where they tell you, you must sell these products, you're going to make money off commission, and you have to sell in the streets, become a salesman.
Yes.
You earn out of commission, and if you train other people to sell like you, they're going to open up an office for you, they're going to make you a manager. So, you know, being a talkative person that I was, I took the job. I had to sell in the streets. I actually sold quite a lot.
Is that, were you a vendor?
No, a vendor.
Did you go door to door?
Yeah, I went door to door.
I see. What did you sell?
I went everywhere. I sold calculators, teddy bears, shaving machines.
What machines?
Shaving machines.
Really?
Yeah, I sold toys. So when I went back to school, I paid for myself. But I knew that at home they didn't have money, and I knew that I couldn't have come back, or I could have might as well been a criminal. So I have to take advantage of the fact that I managed to get myself back to school. So I had to study hard. So I did study, but still my interest was in music and entertainment, you know. So while I was on campus studying, there was a campus radio station at school that I got involved in. So I did a campus radio station. I started, you know, doing radio. Started being more popular around campus. And then at the time, there was also a community radio station that was being opened in my township. I started being involved in the community radio station on weekends. So during the week, it would be campus radio and school. Weekends, it would be community radio in my township. So that's how I basically started the radio thing. Eventually, I heard there was a radio competition where they were looking for a jock. An on-air competition they did at YFM. So I entered for the competition. And that's when I got onto YFM. So from YFM, I resigned out of Telkom, and I focused solely on working for Y.
Where does your love for music come from?
From being involved in radio. So being talkative, a lot of people encourage you to be involved, to work on radio.
Yes, okay.
But at the same time, from the township, from when I was young, I loved music because we used to DJ with the little tapes, cassette tapes, at the parties, in the local township parties. So I always loved music. But the fact that I was also talkative, you know, a lot of people encouraged me to be involved on radio. I mean, I'm not even 30 yet. I think there's a lot to be done, you know. I think I've just done well. I don't think I'm somebody that, you know, can look back at my career and say I've done it all. Not really. I mean, I'm still in the beginning, you know. I still feel my mother feels I can do better in all avenues. Now, when I say in all avenues, not only my career, like in my personal life.